Hello everyone. Today we're talking about leadership. If you notice, leaders are very unique people. They think differently, they speak differently, they act differently. The way they view the world is extremely different from others. And God, as a leader, identified himself in the Bible with two very specific animals. If we're going to be leaders in this world, I believe it is vital and extremely important that we pattern ourselves after God. So we should learn, study, and read up on why God said he was like these animals. The two animals that God identified himself as were the eagle, number one, and number two, the lion. Why do you think God identified himself as those two animals specifically, more so than any other animal in the Bible, in the world for that fact? I'll tell you why. The reason why God identified himself as the lion as well as the eagle is because they are the kings of their kingdom. They are the leaders of their domain. Fact number one about being a leader is that God identified himself with other leaders. Now, if you notice, something that's very interesting about the lion, which is the first one that we'll deal with, is that the lion isn't necessarily the biggest animal in his kingdom. He's not necessarily the tallest animal in the kingdom. He's not necessarily the smartest, the wisest animal, nor is he the fastest animal in his kingdom. We could find the elephant as being bigger or stronger, or the rhinoceros, or even the hippopotamus as being bigger. We could even look at the giraffe as being taller, or the snake as being wiser, even the cheetah as being faster. We could even look at a monkey as being more clever. But there's no other animal in the kingdom that is the leader or the king of the animal kingdom. Why is that? The reason why is because of their mentality. Fact number two about leaders is if you're going to be a leader, you have to change the way you're thinking from that of a follower to that of a leader. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be a follower, because it's vital that you are a follower and you first learn how to follow and learn how to serve before you can lead others. But what I am saying is that before you can become a leader, you have to learn these simple qualities. The lion. What's so important? What's amazing about the lion? What's amazing about his mentality? Well, this is why God identified himself with the lion of the tribe of Judah. This is why. The lion, again, as I said, he's not the biggest. But when he sees an elephant, the first thing the lion thinks of is lunch. It's his mentality. The first thing he thinks of is lunch. And that's so important to us as leaders. And what does that tell us? It tells us that our actions are based on our thoughts. Everything that we do is based off of what we think. Now, the elephant is much larger, and with one stomp could probably kill the lion, just like that, snap his neck. But when the elephant sees the lion, the first thing he thinks of is eater. And he thinks, this lion is going to eat me. So what does he do? He cowers and runs away. The lion, though bigger, though stronger, is now victim by those same things. The elephant is victim of his strength. He's a victim of his power. They have no authority in him because of the way he thinks. The elephant, when he looks at the cheetah, thinks the same thing, even though the cheetah can outrun him like that. Or the snake, more smart. The monkey, a lot more cunning, probably has more wisdom. The giraffe, even taller, probably one swoop of his neck could probably kill the lion. But it doesn't matter, because it's his mentality. This is what we have to remember as a core precept to being a leader. That what you think dictates your life. That is so vital. I can't even begin to say that enough. If you don't act, or rather if you don't think right, your actions are not going to line up with what you want. So where you are in life right now is because of what you think. And everybody around you sees you not by the way you think, but by the way you act. Your actions, people say, speak louder than words. If you want people to see you as a leader, not only do you have to act like a leader, but you first have to think like a leader. You have to think. Now, I'm not saying that people should be scared of you like the elephant is with the lion, but I am saying that for the lion, it's the mentality. It's the way that he should be thinking. The lion thinks no matter what, no matter how big the situation is, no matter how strong or how crazy the opportunity is, this is what I see, this is what I want, and this is what I'm going to go after. Just as a leader should be thinking the same way. You think what you want. You see it, you grab it, you possess it in your mind, and then you go after it. You don't think about the outcome. You don't think about the negatives. You don't think about what may happen or what could happen. The only thing that you're aware of is that it's what you want, and you're going to get it no matter what. Now, if you notice, when you encounter somebody who is secure with who they are, somebody who is confident in their identity in God, sometimes they can come off as being proud or arrogant. But it's not so. Usually the reason why they're coming off that way is because the person who is perceiving them has an identity problem. You notice whenever you see somebody who's confident, it's usually you who's not confident is wondering why that person is coming off proud. And it's not that the person is proud. It's just that they walk in a manner where they're sure of themselves. And this is the way we as leaders must conduct ourselves. In everything we say and everything we do, we must be sure of what it is that we want and go after it. This is why God identified himself with a lion. God himself said, this is what I want, and this is what I'm going to have. No matter what, this is it. And I am going to make sure that I get it. That's what you have to come to the realization of when you're doing something. No matter what it is in your life, if you feel like you want to go to school, but you don't have the education, it doesn't matter. Why? Because it's not about your ability. Again, you notice the lion is not the strongest, not the tallest, the smartest, or the fastest. It's not his abilities that makes him the king of the kingdom. It's his mentality that makes him the king of the kingdom. Always remember that. It's not about your ability. You can have all the degrees in the world and still be nothing. You could still be sitting at home wishing that you were doing this or wishing that you were doing that. Likewise, you could be, as we would think of it, as being on top of the world. You know, you could be writing books, perhaps a professor if that's what you want. You could be teaching, all these great, you could be a doctor, you could be an engineer. It doesn't matter. And not have any education background. It doesn't matter. See, the world tells us that it's our abilities that dictate where we're supposed to be. But that's not what God is saying. It's not about your ability. It's about your mentality and what you think. This is the first, foremost, and most important rule, in my opinion, of leadership. Your mentality dictates your actions, not your ability. So if you ever want to understand and get the mandate of leadership, you must first have the mentality of leadership. The lion is not the biggest. He's not the strongest. He's not the tallest or the wisest. He doesn't, by our way of thinking, have the ability to be the king of the kingdom. But he doesn't let that stop him. It's the way he thinks. And then he goes after what he wants. So I challenge you after listening to this. Find out what it is that you want. What plan God has for you. And go after it. Not thinking about what abilities you have. Not thinking about what you need as a prerequisite first. But go after it wholeheartedly. And I guarantee you, with God on your side, nothing is impossible. Stay tuned for my next telecast. Alright, see ya.